I had social anxiety as far back as I can remember. Things had got so bad that I had to spend a fortune on a psychiatrist to even take me out into public and walk down the street with me because I felt like I couldn't walk in public, and he took me to supermarkets to overcome my fear of supermarkets because I wasn't even able to enter a supermarket at that time. But now at 43, I'm happy to say I've cracked the code to social anxiety. I've coached dozens of people from around the world who've been through the same issues that I was going through at that time in my life. I've taken them from being housebound, reliant on medications, isolating themselves, and being unhappy and depressed, to starting their own businesses, becoming public speaking coaches, giving speeches at their brothers' weddings, and living happy, successful, and fulfilling lives. In this video, I'm going to give you my 3 most game-changing insights from my 28 years in the trenches overcoming social anxiety. Key number 1 is model excellence. And this means that you want to reverse engineer social confidence that you see is working for other people and you see around you from very socially confident people. Now, for me, I used to work in the British Embassy in Beijing, and this was a huge learning experience for me because I was surrounded by very smooth operating diplomats and ambassadors and deputy ambassadors. And I was able to see just how they worked socially, and I would study them very carefully. Now, this might sound a little bit odd to you, but I'm telling you, you really want to reverse engineer the things that are working. And obviously you don't want to hang around that person with a microphone and a notepad, but you can just very subtly observe what they're doing, make a mental note, even type it up in a note on your computer, and just see, how do they enter conversations? How do they make the other person feel interested and engaged during the conversation? And then importantly, how do they smoothly transition out of those interactions? So model charisma from people you see around you. Reverse engineer what they're doing and then start implementing that in your own life to become way more charismatic. Key number 2 is mood follows action. And what this means is that you can't just sit around waiting for the right feeling or the right time to get started with this stuff. There's always going to be resistance. You're always going to feel nervous. But it's a lot like going for a run or going to the gym. If you wait to get that feeling when you want to do it, it's not going to happen. You have to actually push against the resistance, go out for that run or go to the gym, even though you don't feel like it. And in 99% of the cases, when you come home, you're always going to feel better and feel glad that you did the run or you did the workout. So the truth is, you're never going to feel 100% ready to start implementing these changes in your life. But if you listen to that resistance, it's just going to hold you back, and you're going to procrastinate, and you're not going to make the progress that you want, and you're not going to make it as quickly as you need to. And I'm sure you've heard the saying, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to get great. And that's exactly what we're talking about here. And trust me, I do get it. I've worked with dozens of clients on this stuff, and I know it can feel overwhelming, which is why I offer a one-to-one coaching program. And if you would like accountability, support, and guidance on making these changes in your life, then by all means go ahead and click that link below this video. We can jump on a personal one-to-one call and we'll discuss how you can start making these changes in your own life. And key number 3 is to start off low and slow. What I mean by that is, don't go re-traumatizing yourself by jumping in at the deep end and re-traumatizing yourself with social exposure challenges. You want to start off with very basic challenges with people that you perceive as non-threatening. And you also want to pace this very slowly. What we're looking for is micro improvements over time. And the key to building confidence is to stack small wins, like stacking little bricks. And these compound over time to build this huge, unshakable foundation of social confidence. So what this looks like in real life is beginning with daily micro interactions. And this can start off even at the non-verbal level, just giving a nod and some eye contact to passers-by. Then you can start to escalate to greeting people, giving them a wave, saying good morning. As we build up, we keep adding step by step. So you might start speaking to cashiers in shops, asking them about their day, seeing how they are. And before you know it, over time, you're building up to actually having conversations with people in supermarkets, having conversations with people at bus stops, and even forging friendships with strangers and creating long-term relationships from random interactions. So the other part of starting off slow and low is practicing these skills with people that you perceive as low threat. So if you're working on giving greetings or starting conversations, You don't have to do this with very high stakes people in authority, people that you think are very attractive or have a lot of status. You can start off just saying hello to an old man on a bench or a little old lady in the street. Working with older people to begin with is usually a very good idea because they're from a generation where this kind of social interaction was way more common. And they've also got to a point in their life where they basically do not give an F. They are very relaxed and they're very open and naturally more sociable. So I would recommend starting with old people, just sharing greetings and a little bit of conversation. Then you can graduate up to cashiers and people in stores because they're already primed to have interactions with customers. It's a customer facing role. It's not unusual to have a bit of chit chat with them. So start off low with low stakes practice partners and gradually build up. And you need to remember that whenever you're working on your charisma and your social skills, everything can be regressed down to more basic levels. So we start with the ultimate high level goal and we break this down into sub goals, and you can always regress from wherever you are to make it easier and just gradually build up. I go into all of this stuff in way more depth in my cognitive reprogramming coaching program, which is all about taking your biggest fears, breaking them down into micro sub goals and working on them in a consistent, holistic, methodical way. If that sounds like something that you're interested in, as I said, go ahead, click that link below this video. We can jump on a personal one-to-one call and I'll talk you through how the system works and see if we're a good fit to work together.